As many of you have probably experienced, strong travel demand has also brought some difficulties. We knew the recovery was coming and we were ready for the restart. What we weren't ready for is after 18 months of COVID being suppressed, was such high levels of community transmission and the sick leave that followed that. Neither were our industry partners. The rebound in travel demand also coincided with a massive labour shortage. Of course, that shortage has been more acute in aviation because of how many people left the industry through 2 very uncertain years. It is the same story at airlines and airports around the globe, and at airports and at airlines here in Australia. All of this resulted in well-publicised problems, long queues, delayed flights, and misplaced bags. It was incredibly tough on our people and deeply frustrating for our passengers. It simply wasn't good enough, and for that we have apologised. We reached out to our frequent flyers earlier this week to thank them for their patience and for sticking with us. But what they really want to know is how we're fixing it. There's a lot of work happening to get Qantas back to its best. Since April, we've hired more than 1,500 people and will add more in the next few months. Our partners, including ground handlers and airports, are recruiting as well. We've reduced our domestic flying, in part to give us more buffer. And we're rostering more crews across fewer flights, which means that we can better cover sick leave that is averaging almost 50% above normal. We're also investing more in technology, including an upgrade to our airport kiosks and bag drop facilities, as well as new scanners at boarding gates. And there's significant improvement in our performance already. Qantas mishandled bags rate reached 11 in every 1,000 in July, but is now down to 6 in 1,000. That's almost back to pre-COVID levels, and it will be back at pre-COVID levels in September. Cancellations reached 7.5% in July, but fell below 5% in August, and will be back at pre-COVID levels also in September. On-time performance was at 52% and is now at 66%. That's still not good enough, and we expect it to be back in the mid-70s or higher in September, on its way back to pre-COVID levels of 80% in October. This does depend on some factors out of our control, like extreme weather events or air traffic control, but the operation will be a lot more robust overall. And while passenger flying has only really come back in the past 6 months, Qantas Freight and Qantas Loyalty have been standout performers through the pandemic. Freight posted another record result in financial year 22, and while international yields for freight are coming down, we believe that the market has undergone a structural shift. Before COVID, Australia lagged most of the world in e-commerce, but lockdowns saw us catch up. Those goods ordered online are now filling our aircraft, which is why we're investing to expand our freighter fleet. Qantas Loyalty is also growing. Since the start of the pandemic, it added over 1 million new members. It says a lot about how attractive the program is and how people feel so attached to the Qantas brand. In May, we announced the acquisition of a majority stake in the Australian-owned online holiday package business, TripADeal. It's already really delivering for the group and its customers. Sales in the first month were up 70%, and frequent flyers have so far redeemed over 150 million points on TripADeal packages. The ability to invest heavily is linked to our recovery program. From the start of the pandemic, our focus has been on restructuring the business so we can get back to profit and back to investing. Just last month, the first of the group's next generation narrow-body aircraft arrived in Jetstar, the A321neo. That is the start of a 10-year fleet renewal program that will also see Qantas update its 717s and 737 fleets with the Airbus 220 and A321. These aircraft can fly further, carry more people, generate less noise, and burn less fuel. There is a lot of work happening in Qantas to get ready for these aircraft. Our people are incredibly excited, and we think our customers will love them too.